The charisma. All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, I take the beating.
I think about a year ago, you, the Bartman, myself, sitting in my house, watching the Royal
Yeah,
Rumble. Cody comes
yeah,
out, you're pumped up. Cody wins the
sure,
Rumble. I'm sitting there
absolutely.
thinking The Rock's going to come out. I had some inside information, didn't pan out properly, but we later find out,
Inside information.
that The
That's
Rock
great.
was going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now we're at Royal Rumble 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, we're gonna go match by match. I want to get your
Yeah,
predictions and where are
sure,
we going with
sure.
this whole thing? Because I got to be honest
Now
with
wait a
you.
minute, though. I don't like to make predictions. Why do you make me guess a scripted show? Oh, I got it right. I knew what they were going to do. And let me tell you what they're going to do in Yellowstone for the second half of the season because I got inside information.
Well, that's right. Let's just do it this way. What do you
Yeah.
want to see happen? Okay,
All
that
right.
makes
Take
sense
me
to
match
Jimmy
by
Farrow.
match. And I tell you what, take me match by match, like you said. And if I got a whim to say this one's definitely winning, I'll throw it out there.
All
How's
right.
that?
We'll start off the United
Hit it.
States champions, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens.
I like the matchup. Sometimes I get frustrated as a Kevin Owens fan and have been forever. That he's gonna lose. I'm sorry. He's gonna put on a great match. They're gonna kill each other. It's gonna be awesome. Logan Paul is fantastic. Huge Logan Paul guy. Love him on the microphone. Love his aura. Love his skill. He's great before he had any nerve to be great, but there he is. He's great. He's going to win. He's going to retain because a bigger match awaits him at WrestleMania to be determined. You know, what do you think?
I think you can't get away from Logan Paul right now. It only makes
No.
business sense. You're going into WrestleMania, like you said.
Yeah.
Logan Paul has a bunch. I mean, when we were on ESPN, I think the guy said that he thought that LA Knight would be facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania. You disagreed, right?
No, I actually what Coach was getting at was wait he just said belt. Now I should have probably specified what I meant maybe, but I guess it stays the same. I don't see LA Knight winning the world title anytime soon was really what I was talking about there. But do I see LA Knight getting a shot and taking the belt from Logan Paul? I think that could happen at WrestleMania. I think that could happen. I think he's got a shot at that.
Do you think LA Knight's lost a little of his shine since that Roman Reigns match?
No, I don't think so because look, I think you do the same thing. I judge by what the fans say, and LA Knight is still getting a huge pop. I still think he's massively over, and that's why I do think if they're wise, they'll put the U.S. title on him at WrestleMania. Eventually, Paul can take it back if he feels like it, but I think that a guy like Logan Paul could be heading towards a world title. That could be several years from now, maybe not, but I think that that'll be a move that would really send the internet into a meltdown.
Wow. All right, Men's Royal Rumble. Confirmed participants: Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest. Of that list of confirmed wrestlers, every one of a few, more than half, I think, have a viable opportunity in a storyline to win this Rumble. What do you think, Jimmy? Who's winning the Rumble, and what are some of the
Mm.
surprises of the men's Rumble?
I don't think that I can't think of anybody, unless it comes completely out of left field on the guy's side, that would be a surprise. I can't. Um, I just don't see it. It could be, God, if they bring Goldberg out, who cares at this point? I mean, Undertaker ain't gonna make a surprise appearance in the Rumble. Are they gonna put Shane McMahon in there? I tried to take it over, but I'm back. I I don't know.
How about
I,
Lesnar?
is that really a surprise at this point? I don't feel like it would be.
How about The
I don't
Rock?
feel that way. Well, that's what I think is. I look logically. The Rock said, "Should I sit at the head of the table?" Roman Reigns laughed it off. we both feel right this time, Mike, that this is it. This is going to be Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, right? Well, there's only one way that The Rock can do that if Roman Reigns doesn't agree to face him, and that's win the Royal Rumble. So logically, that's what should happen.
Unless,
That's
here's a question to you, and do you think they'll do this? And I hope they don't.
yeah. What?
You can get that match if you take the title from Roman at the Royal Rumble.
You really want the match to not be for the title?
I
I
don't.
don't
I
see
want
the
it to be.
sense. I don't. Let me put it this way. I don't see the sense of Roman Reigns losing and being pinned for the first time in a one-on-one match in what, half a
Well,
decade
no, well,
almost. Are we?
it's a
Are
three
we?
way. It's a four way. I'm sorry. So there's a chance that someone else gets pinned and Roman just loses his belt because, you know,
I would really consider that. No, I understand the rules of that, but I guess what I'm getting at is I would really consider that a terrible back door, sliding out the back door, cowardly, lame way to take the belt off one of the greatest runs we've seen in our lifetime. And we've been watching wrestling for 50 freaking years, in my case. Okay, that is not how you take the title off of him. You did not have him hold the belt all these years, making you think this is the time he loses it and somehow he would always win, creating and crafting a perfect villain character for himself, having the wise man, having it all click, and having this amazing run. This is how he loses the belt? You keep the belt on him and have The Rock do what Hogan did for The Rock all those years ago and make The Rock shine even brighter. In this case, it's Rock's turn to make Roman Reigns shine even brighter, the head of the table.
so your prediction: Rock comes out, wins the Rumble.
Logically, that's what should happen.
What
Unless you want to
happens?
pull the old Unless you want to pull the old Rhodes and Punk fall out at the same exact time. Uh-oh, what do we got here? I
Well,
mean,
if you remember
what
way
are we doing?
back in an earlier show last year, you and I discussed the fact of the possibility of Roman defending against The Rock in night one and then defending against
Hmm.
Cody in night two. I kind of believe that The Rock does win the Rumble and Cody wins the Elimination Chamber and Roman is forced to wrestle both nights, giving Roman the excuse to losing the belt to Cody for a later on battle down the road because he doesn't lose that shine because he had to wrestle twice in a weekend.
Interesting. Dude, if they did something like that, it would be so unheard of and so out of left field. And I would like to see them do weird stuff like that because that's a pretty wild theory. I hope that wasn't from an insider though, but as long as it came from you, that would be pretty. That would be that would be great. Where did you get that one from? I mean, did you wake up in the middle of the night because you ate too many cookies
Dude,
and
you
milk
know
and
what?
said,
I'm
what people?
this little brain of mine is thinking too much wrestling lately, coming up with these friggin' help born. Because I'm thinking to
Right,
myself, if The
right.
Rock wins the Rumble, what happens to
Hmm.
Cody and CM Punk?
Right, right. That also bothers me too.
And
But
what happens to Drew McIntyre? And what happens to Damian Priest?
well, I mean, it seems to me that Punk and Cody are heading towards a match at WrestleMania. So the only thing I can think of with them, how do you make everybody happy? Here's how you make everybody happy as far as the guys themselves, the wrestlers themselves. The Rock wins the Royal Rumble. Yeah, sure. Punk and Rhodes are going to be upset about this, but The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, fights Reigns on night two, whatever. Okay, that's the main event that we all want, and that's the main event we should see. The end. Okay, so now you got the other two because those are the two that everyone's going to scream about. They're the Florida State University eliminated dudes of something that they feel that they should be involved in. So what I think should happen during the Royal Rumble is this Punk and Rhodes seem to be the last two guys in the ring, right? And they start brawling and fighting with each other. And somehow, here comes The Rock, and they get distracted. And then they start fighting each other some more. And The Rock just tosses both of them. And the two of them are staring at each other outside the ring, like, you effing asshole, blah, 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 blah. And then somehow you got to intertwine it with Rollins. They got to get a main event title shot. So this way, to me, everybody gets a title shot that's supposed to get a title shot. Why can't night one be Seth Rollins in a triple threat match versus CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? Rhodes doesn't like Punk. Rollins hates Punk. Rollins hates. It's perfect. Just let everybody get their shine, and the winners be the winners.
Well done.
Now, who would be the winner? Who would be the winner? Rollins, Punk, and Rhodes in a
I think
triple
it
threat.
depends on Rollins' health.
Who deserves to?
And
Yeah.
what about Gunther?
What about Gunther? That's where I want to see Brock Lesnar. Don't you?
Oh, that totally want to see that. I didn't even understand why they had him face to face with Seth Rollins at Raw. Like I wasn't even getting that at all.
I think I was talking to Coach earlier from ESPN. I was talking to Coach earlier, and he seems to think that we're going to get a Rollins Gunther match. I mean, and I can't really argue with that because I thought to myself, well, what was the point? Just like you just said, of having those two, what was the point?
What IC
That's got
champion
to be
against
down the
world
road
champion,
somewhere.
title versus title?
That sounds like a main event on one of the nights, doesn't it? Don't you love that this year? Isn't this
It's
great?
crazy.
What does
You,
this
you
say
don't know
about
what's going to
What does
happen.
this say? What does that say about the
But
product?
here's the problem,
That's
Jimmy.
fantastic.
As fantastic
Yeah,
as it could be, they could destroy it if it doesn't
yeah.
come out right. If they make a
Of
mistake
course.
and do something stupid
Yeah,
and let
yeah.
someone win, like you're
Good.
right. This is it. Roman against The Rock has to happen.
Yeah,
Forget about
has
Cody
to
Rhodes.
happen.
Forget about
Right,
everybody else. That
right,
match must happen.
right.
And it
And if you take the belt off Reigns before that, you are removing some of that match's luster. You
absolutely
can't do that.
because
Can't
you
do
can't be
that.
the head of the table unless you have the universal title.
Of course, this head of the table thing stretches across the universe. Absolutely. It would be so ridiculous to take the belt off him. And Rollins, if Rollins has nothing to lose here, I really think they should go with the triple threat match Rollins, Punk, and Rhodes. First of all, could you imagine how great that match would be? Let's be nerdy for a second. That match would be unbelievable. It'd be great. If
Right.
Rollins loses the belt, he loses nothing. He is forever embedded. You know what? You've paid Rollins the highest compliment. You've said he's the golden boy, man. He's the Shawn Michaels in the locker room to these guys. And he
Absolutely.
is. He has been for a long time. He's the workhorse. He's got the flair. He's got the personality. He's
He's
great. It doesn't matter if he
He's
loses.
the Derek Jeter of the WWE. He bleeds the WWE colors, man.
Yep.
He's loyal to them to the end,
Yep.
and that I
Yep.
always
And I'll tell you,
respected.
he is, and I'll tell you something else too, and you may be surprised at this. If it comes down to that match, if they do pull the trigger for this match, I guarantee you that Rollins, number one, won't have a problem losing the belt that night. He won't. Number two, and here's the surprising part, but I don't think it is. CM Punk would gladly put over Cody Rhodes in the main event because he got his main event at WrestleMania, and Cody needs to finish his story. And if they, I can see all three of them cooperating, despite Rollins' real life differences with Punk, despite Punk's controversial ways. I could see this happening because they all love Cody. And Cody does have great respect for Punk and vice versa in real life. And Rollins does have respect for Punk and vice versa, whether they like each other or
Dude,
not.
CM
This
Punk
would
is
really
laughing all
be
the
a
way to the
great
bank.
match.
The guy doesn't even wrestle anymore.
Yes,
In
he is.
AEW, he's wrestling all the time.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't wrestle and he
Yeah,
just
he
walks
was.
out, does a couple of mic work, goes home. All right, let's get to the
Why do you
women's
think
part,
we were?
Jimmy. Confirmed
Yeah.
entrants: Bailey, Nia, Becky Lynch, Bianca, Maxine Dupree. Let me ask you about Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
Does she
What
have the
about
most
Maxine
beautiful
Dupree?
breasts in the history of breasts? I'm sorry,
Hold on,
dude.
I gotta move this picture of me out of the way to take a look. What do we got here? The most beautiful. What did you just call her?
The most beautiful breasts in the world. I mean, every time
Well,
she's on Raw, I just sit there and stare at them. I'm like, my God, they're perfect. They're not overly big. They're not too small. They're perfectly round.
what is this? A bowl of porridge? This one was just right.
Yes, yes, yes.
The hell is what is going
They're
on here?
just
All right,
right.
take it easy there, Goldilocks. Oh my God. You want me to have a tomahawk thrown at me? I'm not answering that. Get out of here. What's wrong with
Seriously,
you?
come on, you got to answer that question. Why does it have to be a
They're lovely.
tomahawk?
They're lovely. Okay, do you feel better now?
Why does it have to be a tomahawk, dude?
Dude, I'm in Wahoo Saloon. What are you missing here? What, what are you what are you missing here? What do you think it's safe to make observations on breasts? What's wrong with you? It's absurd. Get out of here. Mine are lovely, by the way. Lovely.
By the way, they
Yeah.
I did see you put on a little extra on the breastises on your side. You must be eating well, my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, I am eating well. My oh my. I got to admit it. Oh, one of my friends just chimed in. He's a wrestling expert. I asked him a bunch of questions this week, and his answer was the same for every one of them. Ric Flair. He's a genius, Mike. He's
Genius,
he's a
genius.
wrestling genius. Shout out to Houston Mike. What's up there, buddy? But yeah, oh the food has been fantastic here. And you know what? When you go out to eat, it's cheaper than New York, and the gas is cheaper too. And the cigarettes, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
Winner of the women's rumble, my friend. Is Bailey gonna finally get what she deserves?
Can I ask you a question? What is with this sudden surge that Bailey should win the Royal Rumble? Where did that come from? Is
I
that the
don't know.
internet?
I'm going with Jade Cargill.
Hmm.
I don't even know why people forgot Jade Cargill's in on the roster. She's winning the Rumble, and it only makes sense for her to win the Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that she's the one. I mean, if it's not her, I really think it really should be her. It would be the freshest thing, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be an amazing matchup? But what happens though? I mean, does she go after? Who does she go after? Who's she picking, Mike?
For me, all right. So I'm you again. Bianca Belair, I love, but Rhea against Jade. Ooh boy,
Right.
that could be.
Right.
Forget about it, bro.
Right. Yeah, but here's the problem though. Is Rhea ready to look? Rhea is really it's dominating and establishing herself. Do you really want her to lose the belt? Shouldn't she kind of do a Roman Reigns for a little while?
Why do we always have to lose the belt? Why can't we have a double count out? Like, why can't they wrestle
At
to a double count out?
WrestleMania?
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. You want to see a meltdown? Do you realize what that will do? People will go ballistic. Oh my God, there was no winner. How can you have a double countdown at WrestleMania? Hey, I'm not against it, but I can see people
Hasn't there
flipping
been
out.
great boxing matches where two boxers had a draw?
Trying to think. I'm trying to think. Has there been a draw in boxing that
Of
was like,
course.
Ali Frazier?
Not that I
Ali
remember,
Frazier
but
like
yeah, I'm,
level?
I'm sure there were plenty, but I don't know, man. To me, it's like,
I
you're
don't
right. You
know.
can't take the belt off of Rhea. And, the
Right.
Io Sky
You
thing,
can't.
when is that over? Like, get that over with already. I'm done with Io Sky already.
You know something? I guess that's where the Bailey stuff is coming from. Silly me, but it does make sense because Bailey is starting to become sympathetic. Am I missing something here? Because I don't think I am. She's becoming kind of sympathetic, and I can see that whole group turning on her. There's been hintage at it, hasn't there? So maybe if Bailey wins the Rumble, she decides, screw this, I choose you, Io. And boy, I would love to see Bailey take the belt from Io. So that's a good. I could deal with that. What do you think? I think that would be good.
That's not bad. Listen, there's so many great matches you really can't miss, but they can blow it if they don't do it exactly right. All right, man. The main
Right.
event.
Right.
We spoke
Yeah.
about Roman already. Is there any chance that Roman Reigns loses this Universal title?
No. Nope. Nope. Not if you're sane about things and you know what the hell you've been doing for the last bunch of years with Roman Reigns. Absolutely not. No way. And because I was thinking about the other guys that are in the match. Should any of them be holding the belt currently? No.
No. Let
They're
me ask you
they're all
this.
great hands.
We opened
They're all
up with
great hands.
Hogan.
It'll be a great match, but
We opened up with Hogan in Tampa, right? On the beginning of the show, and
yeah.
he's in Tampa. Does Roman give Hogan
Yeah.
a beatdown during Royal Rumble?
Hogan did say he might have one more left in him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did say that.
You saw that, right?
I
Is that why
did.
you're asking me this?
Well, I'm
That was pretty
actually
cool.
wondering. Like, people are joking that he's going to go in the Rumble. I'm not saying that, but I believe that Hogan is going to get a beatdown at the Royal Rumble, and someone's going to come out and save him, whether it be The Rock, Cody
What
Rhodes. I
makes
don't.
you what makes you think that? Please tell me what makes you think that because you're getting me excited for no reason at all.
I kind of
What do you
because it's
what
Tampa, you're safe, right?
Right.
There's a lot of Hogan haters
Uh-huh.
nowadays. But in Tampa,
Sure.
he's a god, right?
Yes.
He comes out.
Yes. Hmm.
I don't know. Roman just gives him a beatdown. You're safe that
Let me.
people aren't going to root for Roman. They're going to be like, angry that he's beating up the great Hulk Hogan,
I would if Hogan is going to take any bumps at all, if he's really going to decide, you know what, they said it's okay, I'm going to let somebody lay their hands on me. I think Hogan will go put me in the Rumble, and I get tossed out, but let me get a few shots in. Let me do my little spiel before I get tossed out. I think it would be pretty damn amazing,
It
personally.
would be, but the dude barely could walk. So I just like that would be
Well,
the
if that's the
ultimate.
case, see, that's if that's the case, then he's not coming back to do anything, and we're probably just,
Why? If
kidding
Roman just
ourselves.
punches him in the face or humiliates him, in front of the home
What would be?
crowd,
Oh, okay. So, what would be the circumstances though? Hogan walks out before Roman starts his match. I mean, how do you have Roman and Hogan face to face?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good point. Like I don't know how to piece
Right.
that together.
See, I would rather say that if in some miracle thing, Hogan wants to do a one off, and I would put him in the Rumble. I'd be like, oh, go for it, Hulkster. Your musical hit. The crowd will go batshit. They will.
Right.
You come out. Make sure you wear a T-shirt. Don't do a Ric Flair. We'll make you look biker good, look like biker Hogan or whatever the hell. Come out, do your thing, get eliminated. But first, of course, you do your 1, 2, 3, you to somebody, and get eliminated and get a standing ovation as you leave. I think that would be great. If you're going to do it at all, do it that way. You know.
Well, Jimmy, we'll discuss it right after the Rumble's over. Hopefully, we get what we want.
Yep.
I'm glad you're back. Your internet connection's excellent.
Thank you, sir.
You want to do this
Appreciate
again next
it. Glad
week?
to be glad to be back. It's good to be back. Sure, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
How about
Yeah.
this? Appease me before we go off.
Appease you.
Abe, can you bring up that Missy video? And you and me, Jimmy, let's dance our way out of this show to Missy Beefcake singing Hulk Hogan.
This is the
What do you
greatest.
think?
It's the greatest video ever.
Let's
Let's do it,
dance.
brother.
Let's go.
Well, this shit's coming down, it's gonna hurt inside. 6'2", hair extensions are tied. Why'd you hurt my man? 'Cause I hurt your pride? You broke bro code, so don't try and hide. You are a real shitty friend, and it's not right.
Thank you for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast. We'll see you next Thursday. Love you all. Love you, Jimmy.
Later, brother.